Welcome back. The victims of last week's school massacre in Colorado have been remembered at an open-air memorial service. 70,000 people turned up, many still asking why no one had any idea what the teenage killers were planning to do. Channel 9's Nick McCallum reports.
Reflecting how deeply this tragedy has hurt Americans, the population of the Denver suburb of Littleton doubled to 70,000 for the service, all of them crammed into a car park near the school.
Heartbreak overflows my head.
The opening song written by two brothers who survived the massacre.
My heart goes out to all of my classmates and my coach who are no longer with us.
The spirit was of forgiveness, but now for the parents of gunmen Eric Harris and Dylan Klebold, there is a suggestion of charges.
If you had adults who should have known what was going on, who failed to exercise care in a situation like this, they could be charged as accomplices.
Why?
Gospel singer Amy Grant posed the question no one can answer as a dove was released for each of the victims. The service ending with a solemn procession up to the school itself.
And the service is to be followed by other memorials for the shooting victims this week in Colorado. To Kosovo now, and NATO has warned Serbia against spreading the war to its neighbours. The warning came as the alliance wound up its 50th anniversary summit in Washington. There are fears Serbia may strike at countries supporting NATO attacks on Yugoslavia. Channel 9's Lane Colcutt has the latest.
Summit complete, one mission successful. The unity of the NATO alliance and members agreeing they must win the Kosovo campaign. But as another 4,000 troops were ordered to join the 12,000 already assigned to Macedonia, NATO wanted to reassure that country and other Serbian neighbours of their military support.
If Belgrade challenges its neighbours as a result of the presence of NATO, we will respond.
And on went the attack. For the second time in 3 days, Serb TV was a target. A transmission tower destroyed during a late-night movie broadcast. Engineers had them back on air within several hours. Into Albania today, 7 more Apache tank busters, as well as more Black Hawk helicopters. NATO hoping this new type of forceful persuasion will make an impression on Slobodan Milosevic. Visiting his troops, the Supreme Allied Commander, saying the air campaign is on schedule and will intensify even further.
We're winning. Milosevic is losing, and he knows it.
There is still no clear sign when the Apaches will begin their attacks, but General Clark's visit here could indicate it may not be too far away.
Back home, in a playground tragedy at a South Auckland primary school has left an 8-year-old boy dead. The school says it's believed the boy was on a piece of playground equipment at Clendon Park Primary. It's thought that he slipped, the drawstrings on his shirt snagged and strangled him.
It's very emotional. It's a tragic accident, and teachers have had a briefing session about half an hour ago. They've gone back to give a briefing session to the students.
Police are now involved and are investigating playground safety. It's been confirmed that a body found in a burnt-out car in West Auckland bush was that of a mother. Police say the 39-year-old woman owned the vehicle found in the Waitakere Ranges early yesterday. John Stewart has more.
It's either accidental, suicide or homicide or murder.
Police begin their investigation into the horrific death of Teresa Williams, also known by the surname Mohi. She went by the nickname Biddy. Ms. Williams died of smoke inhalation in the back of this Cortina. Police say they're having to use DNA tests for positive ID. Dental records won't work because Ms. Williams's false teeth were destroyed in the fierce blaze.
Firemen were called to the car fire here on the scenic drive in the Waitakere Ranges at about 3:45 yesterday morning. But it wasn't until sunup, when some trampers came by, that there was a body found. They noticed the charred remains in the back and called the police.
A police tent now covers the scorched earth left by the fierce blaze. Meantime, 400 metres along the road, detectives searched for roadside clues to what may prove a significant sighting.
We have witnesses who've seen a white van parked across Scenic Drive, some 400 metres from the burning vehicle. We are eager to identify 2 male people who were with that white van.
Teresa Williams's two boys, aged 9 and 5, are in family care tonight as police try to piece together more about their mother's last hours. In the past year or so, Claire Hills has been burnt to death in a car fire, while the bodies of Indian Ranveer Sharma and Raymond Mullins were discovered in car boots. John Stewart, One Network News.
A Christchurch father and son who operate mega-vitamin laboratories have been sentenced to jail for illegally importing bee pollen. The pollen was intercepted by the Ministry of Agriculture at the pair's premises almost 2 years ago. MAF says it had been falsely labelled as cornflower. The father received 20 months imprisonment, the son 15. Over 500 APEC delegates from 21 countries were treated to a taste of New Zealand at the opening event in Christchurch today. First up, a traditional Māori welcome, including a light and sound extravaganza, before Prime Minister Jenny Shipley officially opened the forum. And outside, anti-APEC protesters kept a quiet presence. The meetings begin tomorrow and continue for 10 days. Stay with us. Coming up, the rivalry between two Fijian schools which got way out of hand, and Elle Macpherson's father in a league bust-up.